Hello YouTube and welcome to my first ever made video about Monster Hunter World, and today we're going to look at some mixed armor sets which I've prepared and built it for you, and I'm going to show it to you. So in advance, I'm sorry if my English isn't that well. It's not my native language either, but it's my first video here on YouTube in English, and I'm sure we're getting the hang of it. Really easy. And yeah, let's start right off. I'm going to show you today two builds. One is on high mobility, the other one is more on damage. And since Devil Joe yesterday came out from the jungle, I've implemented two pieces from him in this one, which I'm currently wearing, this armor set. And yeah, let's check it out. So first, let's just look at the skills which I've got here on this set. First one is handicraft. Yeah, and I'm sorry that the game is on German, but I'm going to translate everything for you, and we're looking at everything in depth together. Yeah. So we've got the handicraft here, which I've got on the tier 4, which increases my weapon sharpness by plus 40. And if you didn't know that already, um, it depends which sharpness you're fighting. So, for example, when you're fighting with green sharpness, your damage will be multiplied by 1.2. The damage increases, like so, by 1.2. If you fight with white sharpness, though, your damage multiplies by 1.32, I think, or just 1.3. So I multiply by 1.3. So your damage gets increased heavily. Let's check the next one. Here we've got the weakness exploit, and it's on tier 3. So it increases my affinity on weak spots of monsters by 50%. Then we've got here latent power on tier 3. I have a jewel which would give me the tier 4 bonus, but I've let it the way it is, like this. I'm gonna explain it later why. Basically it's just a management of the jewels or slots which I have here, and I've decided to go for the critical boost, which you're gonna see soon after this one. But this one is the evade extender, also on the tier 3. Basically the Kushala Cruz, the leg pieces from Kushala Daora, give me those extra, or already given those two bonus plus a jewel. Then we've got the critical boost, which increases my damage of critical hits additionally by 30%. And here I've got it on tier 2, so it means 35%. If you even can get it on tier 3, it would be awesome. Yeah, so all my damage which crits gets an additional damage boost by 35%. That's a lot. Then we've got the part breaker skill that I have on the tier 2. So it increases my damage on weak spots or on parts by 20%. And basically the part breaker and the weakness exploit, I love to use them in basically or nearly every set which I have, because they work so great out together. And now, yesterday I've earned me a jewel, another jewel of this one, of the critical boost, and I think it's just a charm. It's awesome. Those three buffs plus maybe the handicraft work flawless together. So next one, yeah, the pop breaker we've got, the critical eye. Yeah, I had just one slot left. I didn't know what to do with it, so come on, let's increase the affinity by plus more 3%. Why not? And yeah, those are food skills. Okay, let's check out now the armor and the weapons explicitly, and I'm going to explain you something. So for this set here, which I'm showing you right now, you absolutely need a weapon with at least two two slots. Okay, makes that sense in English? Two twice slot or the twice two slot? I'm not sure, but you see what I mean. So at least you have those. There are plenty of weapons which support that, but most of the time the Xeno weapons support the slots. And yeah, basically this build here is uh, especially against monsters with weakness to dragons. In favor if you're using those Xeno weapons, of course. And yeah, it's easy to farm them. And yeah, what do what do I have slotted in here? So the evade extender and the critical boost jewel I've got here. Then the Dragon King's eye patch. Love that piece. And a lot of people are using this. Makes sense. And I've slotted here another weakness exploit here. So I get it on the tier 3. Then we've got the Kushala Cistard. It's the Kushala da Aura chest piece. And yeah, here I've got slotted in the Pathbreaker jewel. Next, we've got the Devil Joe bracers or gloves, and here another Pathbreaker. Oh, and yeah, it's the Kushala da Aura beta version from the chest and the beta version Devil Joe gloves. Yeah, important to mention. Plus the hip piece here, that's alpha, and here I've got the expert jewel. It's the one slot, and on the Kushala leg piece I've got nothing because it does not have a slot. And here on the charm or the talisman, the amulet, I've got the critical boost. Yeah, I've crafted that and I'm using this. So additionally, you can go with the affinity booster, this thing, the Rocksteady mantle. It's this one. It depends on the monster, right? For example, you're fighting at Hillstra, so you better get the fire resistance mantle instead of the Rocksteady mantle. When you're fighting at Kushala Daora, you better get the Rocksteady mantle because of his wind pressure aura which he gets. And yeah, affinity booster, you can go for it, but you're dealing already a lot of crits because basically all the Xeno Jiva weapons are dealing 50 or come with a base of 50% affinity. And when we're doing the maths here, so latent power gets activated after 5 minutes or if you lose 180 HP, okay? So when you have latent power activated, you have an increase of 30% crit. So you're doing 48% crit, or you've got a chance on the crit. Plus this one here, the weakness exploit. When you attack, weak spots on the monsters, your affinity gets increased by 50%. And when you've got not the latent power activated, you have always this one. And when you're attacking on parts of the monster or the weaknesses, you have here basically here 68%. Damn, brain, work a bit faster, please. Yeah, so you can go with the affinity booster if you want, but you can go whatever you like. So here, just for a bit damage show off, if I would hit. Yeah, let's get in demon mode. Well, now we are in demon mode. Let's hit again. So of course it's just a pillar here, a wooden pillar, your damage, you will always hit or deal damage about 20 points, I suggest, yeah. Okay, so that's the first armor set which I showed you. And yeah, it's more a damage set, I would say. Let's check out my mobility set, which I like to use also a lot. And it's this one, Dodgy OP. Close to be perfect, yeah, it was this one which I showed you, and don't look at real meta, it's not ready yet. Because I just made the close to be perfect better than the real meta, but anyway. Here we've got Dodgy OP, Dodgy overpowered. Why Dodgy overpowered? So let's check also here the skills which I've equipped here. And I've got here the high earplugs on type 5, which negates every monster roar out there in the world. Just disclaimer or a hint, when you're building sets with high earplugs or earplugs in general, go for full, so for the tier 5, or leave it. Don't go for tier 3 or tier 2. Maybe in low rank it's okay, but in high rank you want to use the tier 5, so you have the most use of it, okay? Otherwise it's just wasted points. Then weakness exploit. I'm gonna not explain that again. You know by now what that is. The Path Breaker on tier 3, the Evade Extender on tier 3, and the Fast Sheathing on tier 3. Not sure if it's called Fast Sheathing. It's basically this one. When you draw your weapon and sheath it, you see it. How fast I'm putting that back in again. Yeah. And I'm going to explain to that also something. Let's just head right into it. So I love to use charge blades with this set, or switch axes, because you can pull out this massive attack pretty easy all the time, except when you have some wind pressure on you, or the quake pressure from Diablos, for example, or Devil's Stomp, or Valhazak's thingy. When he lays on the ground, he also shivers the ground beneath him and around him. Anyway, and yeah, that's why I'm using, or I like to use those weapons, because you need a lot of preparation and to pull those super effective combos out. And yeah, so that's about the skills which I showed you. Now let's just check out here the weapons I'm using. I've got here the Fast Sheathing jewel on the Nergigante armor weapon, yeah. Then I'm using the Basil helmet from Beetlejuice, Basil Juice, whatever. And here I've got the high earplugs on, yeah, the high earplugs, and another Fast Sheathing jewel. Then the Uragan chest piece. It's the Evade Extender, which I've got here slotted in. The on the bracelets or gloves from Teostra here, I've got implemented here a Part Breaker jewel. Then another Part Breaker jewel on the Basil Juice hip piece, and the leg pieces are another sheathing jewel. And here I've got the amulet weakness exploit. Yes. So also here I'm going to show off some damage. What I've got some. What do I want to say? You can make this set even better, or even better. Well, less mobility, or maybe even you can stay with the mobility. Like for example, you switch out the weapon, which has for example a 2 slot, like before the Xeno Jiva weapon, and you slot in there a critical boost. Critical boost jewel, so your damage or your critical hits get increased by 30% damage. Yeah. So, let's make some damage here. And the ultimate, which I was talking, is you know it by now for those who are playing Monster Hunter. So basically this one. Yeah. So I really like to use that in combination with the this set with the charge blades or with the morph axes, because you can't get flinched or it won't cancel this super huge attack which you're pulling off, and there are monsters which roar a lot, and when the monster roars in the same time when you're pulling the ultimate here on this super power attack, you got interrupted, and yeah, it stops. So yeah. Oh, and another thing which I wanted, or which I forgot to say, is about the close to be perfect set here. Seriously, don't mind the names, it's just a bit silly of mine, but you've got here the thingy, the handicraft, okay? And here you're a bit limited because of the weapons which you have to use. Firstly, yeah, you have to use weapons which have those slots in, those two tour slots, which I mentioned. And you can't take those Nergigante weapons. Let me show you. Okay, just pay attention to the sharpness bar on the right side. You see how the weapon sharpness increases here. But here on the Nergigante switch blade, or morph X, or switch X, you don't get the buff, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't use Nergigante weapons with this slot, with this armor set which I showed you, okay? Yeah, basically that's all it, I think, I believe. Yeah, I really like to use those two sets especially, and let's see if I can make another Devil Joe set maybe. And yeah. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in here today in my video, in my first ever made English video. I think it wasn't that bad, you should get it. And yeah, if you have suggestions or any additions, or maybe I forgot something, or you've got a better idea to improve those gears, let me know that in the comments, okay? Post something, a comment if you liked it or whatever, we can discuss something out. And yeah, I like to do this kind of video. Maybe there's coming another one soon or later, and please subscribe, like, give me some feedback, what can I do better, and yeah, let's see us in the next video. Thanks guys, see you!